NYC. As always, welcome to the show. We talk comics, movies, TV, pop culture, all the fun stuff you love to talk about, we love to talk about. We are talking Deadpool 2 versus Infinity War versus Black Panther versus Solo. We're doing our mid-season, our mid-year review, our mid-year report cards, all that fun stuff. We're going to give you our best rating. We're going to talk which was the best, who was the winners, who were the losers, all that fun stuff. As always, I'm joined by my co-host, the Lord of the Radio, Mr. Hassan Godwin.
Good evening.
He's very, very vibrant today.
Yeah, this is me energetic.
You are very energetic.
I'm very energized.
Yeah, I noticed our banner is also crooked, but that's okay. What can we
Really?
do? I want to thank Elizabeth Tripp for Nourish the Soul. If you're listening to us on talkradio.nyc, again, we do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc. She had a fantastic show. We've got the Governor's House coming on next, so definitely please stay tuned for that as well, too. If you're listening to us on the podcast, we are on iTunes, we are on iHeartRadio, and we got a great show tonight, right? We got a great show. We got Dan Leister, who is the artist of The Sire, the original artist, and he is going to be joining us to talk about his new webcomic a little bit later, so pretty excited about that.
This is our last night in the studio.
Exactly, I was going to say, right, exactly.
For us,
It's like they won't know the
No,
difference.
they won't.
So, but we
Something
begin.
exciting about that.
But we begin. Oh boy, oh boy. Solo is poised to lose $50 million or more at the box office.
That ain't much.
Lucasfilm's standalone Han Solo origin pick is faltering at the global box office, where it is expected to top out in the 400 million range. To borrow one of Han Solo's lines, that's not how the Force works. It's
Never tell me the odds.
Yeah. Wall Street analyst Barton Crockett. I don't know who that guy is, but he's from Wall Street. He's an analyst, so he's gotta be.
He must know what he's doing.
He must know what he's doing. Says Solo
He shorted the stock already.
will lose more than 50 million. Industry financing sources, however, say that figure could come in the 80 million or higher, although no one knows the exact terms for Disney's deals for home entertainment and television and ancillary revenues. It isn't likely to gross much more than 400 million globally against a budget of at least 250 and a major multi-million-dollar marketing spend.
What did Disney lose for John Carter?
Oh, that was like a massive.
Something like 100,
That was
200
no,
million.
yeah, that was like a $200 million bomb
That's
because
the same with Tomorrowland, which
Yes.
I think was also Disney, was a massive bomb.
Yes.
Didn't do well. It was a Memorial Day thing.
yeah,
And Disney went, oh, there's a breeze in here. Spend $4 billion and buy Star Wars. Done. You know?
Disney's
So,
going to live. Yes,
Yeah,
I don't think
they
that's.
shook off a
I don't-
$400 million loss and then spent $4 billion on another franchise.
Again, I don't think that's the big issue here. The big
Oh.
issue is this is the first Star Wars movie to not meet
Wasn't really a
expectations.
Star Wars movie,
But it definitely was a Star Wars movie. Okay, it wasn't one of the franchise
Star
movies,
Wars.
but it has Star Wars. It's set in the
It's a
Star Wars
Disney
universe.
Star Wars movie.
Well, all right. No, let's okay. Let's not mince with that, right?
Oh,
Let's just call it for
What?
right now. It's
That was
still
my whole angle.
All right. Well, I squashed.
I'm just gonna sit here and stare at you now.
It is a Disney Star Wars movie. I get that, but let's go top level first, and then we'll start getting into the nitty gritty. Top level is it's the first Star Wars movie to not meet expectations, to actually lose money. Also, theoretically speaking, if these figures hold up,
Right.
that's a huge dent in the armor, right?
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, huge. Well, it's a dent in the majesty, I guess.
Sure.
You know, whatever the implied infallibility of the,
Uh-huh.
of the franchise.
Yeah.
I don't know how denting it is for the financiers or the studio that made it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the backlash is going to be for Ron Howard or Alden Ehrenreich or I don't know any of them.
Wait, say that again.
I'm not
Alden
gonna say that.
Ehrenreich?
No, whatever his name is.
No, I think you did it really well. I am
Ehrenreich.
actually admiring you.
Ehrenreich, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Or Ehrenreich. I don't know. See, now that I have to think about it, I'm not gonna say it right. But you know, the guy who played Solo.
Yeah.
That guy, the actor who played Solo.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're
The guy with
good.
the hair.
Yeah, I thought it was
White
very,
hair.
very good.
Well, the pronunciation. No,
Yeah, I'm just really impressed with that.
No.
So.
So I'm kind of done for the night. All right, excellent.
For all of them, I don't know. Ron Howard doesn't matter. got his, his career is kind of.
Matters for him. I mean, supposedly he took the job because he was having a string of not so great, films.
Sure.
Like the last Dan Brown movie he made didn't do that wonderfully.
Sure.
He made that weird Moby Dick movie.
Oh yeah, with Chris Hemsworth, right? Yeah,
Hemsworth,
yeah, that didn't do very well.
Do very great. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's been talk that he took the job just to keep
his stock up.
Yeah, keep his stock. Exactly, good term. So it's kind of important that his one and only Star Wars movie is a one and only Star Wars flop. That's sort of a deal.
Yeah, I know that is kind of
sort of important.
I think that is sort of important.
That's a little important, yeah.
But I think in the end he's going to get another movie made. I don't think there's going to be a problem with that.
Give Ron Howard a couple of dollars to make another movie.
I guess the question is this, right?
Okay.
What's the reason behind this movie? Because we reviewed the movie last week, so go check us out on iTunes. Go search Secrets of the Sire. Go to SoundCloud. Go to secretsofthesire.com. You can stream it right off the website. I always forget to promote just the website.
Yeah.
Hits are up though. Hey.
We're doing something.
And we made 7 cents. It was good.
Say something and it was totally not going to make any sense. And we liked it for the most part. We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
It wasn't. The consensus was it wasn't the most brilliant movie that we've ever seen. However.
Yeah.
There aren't many movies that are the most brilliant movie we've ever seen, and therefore it's worth seeing. I've seen it twice. Now I saw The Last Jedi twice.
Yeah.
But I was happy to see this one twice. The Last Jedi was like kind of an obligation.
Well, it's interesting you say that, right? Because people are trying to argue that it's not The Last Jedi's fault that this movie didn't do as well.
That's impossible. Listen, it's 6 months after The Last Jedi, and The Last Jedi was a big deal. Now, even if the truth is that only a minority of people dislike that movie,
mm-hmm.
the minority was really loud.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of money made from bloggers and clickbaiters and YouTubers on how terrible that movie was.
Yeah.
So it became a cottage industry to hate that movie. It was almost prequelian in its stature. Right?
Yes. But it's funny though. It's funny you mention that, right?
The virtue that the prequels had is that there were 3 years between each movie.
Yeah.
And the fact that everyone was so caught up in the lore of those movies in general that there was a lot of speculation as to what's going to happen next, and how exactly is this kid going to turn from this nice guy to this guy in the suit that's going to go around cutting people in half with like a red laser sword, right? We want to know how that's going to happen. Even if they're arguing with the execution.
Sure.
There's intrigue about the mythology in and of itself.
Yes.
Right? You've already spent your capital on the original characters.
Yeah.
By murdering Han Solo in your first movie.
Yeah.
To have that emotional beat.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to go back to the well with a totally different actor.
Yeah.
And say, no, but there's still, don't you love Han Solo? Come back and see Han Solo when he was young, and I understand that there's a lot of commentary about nobody asked for it.
Mm-hmm,
well, we don't ask for a lot of movies, There's not a lot of art that's asked for, that was requested prior to it coming into.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that either. I hate the thing when they're like, well, this was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Okay, no, there was no sense of urgency for me to know Han Solo's origin. I get it.
No, but if you tell me.
But if it was amazing,
yeah,
then it would be amazing. I agree with that.
And it came close to being amazing. It turned into something that I didn't feel was a waste of my time seeing, and inevitably. Or invariably, you start to incorporate what you're seeing into the mythology in and of itself.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, that's how that happened. I mean, it's not how I pictured it happening, but I guess that's how that happened.
Yeah.
So we're done. And if you don't reject those things, like a lot of people did with Luke Skywalker, if you don't reject with the information that you're being given,
right?
It's you happily incorporate it.
Right.
But. It's a little disingenuous to use the death of an iconic character as an emotional beat, as a poorly written emotional beat, in my opinion. I don't think the scene was poorly written.
Yeah.
I think it was poor writing to kill him because you were afraid there was not enough emotionality in the film. Because you didn't have an Obi-Wan moment.
Right. Well, it was formulaic. I mean, there's no
Yes.
question. We've kind of been through that.
And you used that beat because it was an available beat, and you didn't even take into consideration that these characters that we are capitalizing this and justifying this new series on are significant, and they're never going to be seen together again.
Yeah.
They're, so we're just going to use each one of them.
Yeah.
As a fulcrum, to engage the audience with these new characters that we're not going to put a lot of investment or time or money or backing into. You're just going to love them because it's got the Star Wars logo on
Well,
it.
that's the funny part, right? Because there was another article I read, though, too, and it was talking about the blame is not necessarily on Last Jedi. The blame is not necessarily on the tight box office, but I personally think the tight box office is exactly what killed this movie, though, too.
Me too.
I think there's 6 months in between, like you said, but it's not really 6 months because you could still see Last Jedi up until about, I don't know, 2 weeks before Solo came out.
Yeah.
You just had Deadpool, and then you just had the earth-shattering Infinity War. I think that plays into this thing where it's like...
because of the way things work in our society now, that things are happening so fast and come and go so quickly, people are not giving respect to the impact that movie made.
Yeah.
And the fact that movie had a lot riding on it, the fact that there was a lot of pressure on that movie, and the fact that movie, delivered for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's critics, on everything, but the fact that it delivered is a significant thing.
Yeah.
And that, I think people are blown out by the time they're finished with that.
Yeah.
Here comes
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2, which also underperformed.
Yes.
And then here comes Solo. Solo is winning every weekend that it's been in.
It's just dramatically lower than what they expected.
Than every
right.
other Star Wars movie. But if it was not a Star Wars movie, it would be called a success.
But if it wasn't a Star Wars movie, it probably wouldn't have this type of box office either.
So
I mean, there is that conundrum. But one analyst actually argued it was the marketing, though, that they marketed this, that it didn't have his face in it. And this is something that's interesting, right? It didn't have his face in it for a good solid, 2 months before the movie came out. Like the Super Bowl, you barely saw his face.
Right.
And that was in January. The movie came out in May. So they started marketing.
There was a lot of fear involved in doing it. And people could smell the fear.
You knew there was fear in that because it's like, well, he's not exactly Harrison Ford.
Yeah. And he overcame that, really, as far as I was concerned watching the movie. I wasn't thinking, hey, this guy's not Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I was all right watching it.
I know. They should have had a little more faith in the haphazard method in which they brought this thing to screen.
Sure.
When we come back, we're gonna grade it, though. We're gonna grade it up against the Big Four. So far, 2018's been a very interesting year for comic book films. We're gonna pick the best one out of the bunch, and it might not be what you expect when we come back.
I just noticed the light's not flashing there. Are they getting
It says it's coming in and out, as they say.
Oh man, technical problems again.
Why is that so crooked?
What?
The banner.
The banner's just very crooked.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network. Are you stuck in a rut? Negative thoughts, feelings, and conversations got you down? Hi, I'm Noreen Sumter, the Potentiator. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time and listen for new ideas on my show, Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way, on talkradio.nyc.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
We're going to keep it superficial.
Just a brass tacks.
We are very superficial people in general,
wow.
So we are going to stick to, well, I'm a very superficial person.
Yeah, I'm all right.
I'm a book by the cover kind of person.
I'm a great guy. I'm not superficial at all.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We are having banner issues. It's fantastic, but it's better than having technical issues. So that's a win for us. We talk comics, movies, TV, and pop culture every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc, and streaming live on facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire. You can actually go to secretsofthesire.com and stream us off there too, because the Facebook feed goes right into there. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff all around. We are talking about Solo, and it's a good segue into our topic tonight. Our topic tonight, we're going to give our first half report cards on the big movies. And the 4 movies we talked about, we're not going to talk about Pacific Rim, because it doesn't quite fit into our genre, right? I think our genre is if you can... Fiction. I know, but if you can walk into a comic book store and find one of these.
You got to be careful with that, because there's going to be a movie that you're going to want to talk about that's not going to fit that.
And then I'll bend the rules. That's what it's all about. It's all about bending the rules when it doesn't apply to what you're trying to do. That's what I do. I just bend the rules, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm going to say...
Pacific Rim was a really good movie. I actually enjoyed that.
I heard it was terrible, though.
Yeah, of course you did, because you didn't see it.
Not
I
good.
actually saw it, so it did ba-bing.
I know, but because we weren't going to talk about it. What was the other one that came out that we're eliminating? It wasn't Pacific Rim.
Rampage.
Oh, Rampage.
Rampage wasn't really that great a movie.
I could actually...
It was a fun movie, though. It's fun as heck.
I could qualify Rampage more for what we want to talk about than Pacific Rim.
But you didn't want to add it in because you're a whore who only goes after the big money.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. Don't tell my wife I'm a whore.
I think she knows. She knows what you mean. Yeah.
Big 4 movies of the year. Black Panther.
Whore.
Infinity War.
Super whore.
Deadpool 2.
Pandering whore.
And Solo. On an individual basis, give me your grades for all the movies. We're gonna use standard high school letter grades. In that order. Black Panther. What was your letter grade for the movie?
A.
Okay.
But I'm black.
Well, now everyone knows it because you're on screen now.
Was I not on screen for like the last 6 months?
Yeah, I know, but new viewers coming in.
Oh. Hello. I'm black. And I like Black Panther.
Are you a Panther?
Are
you a Panther?
No, I am not a Panther. Okay. But I am a fan of Black Panther.
Good.
As all African Americans should be. Thank you, America.
You're very surly tonight. I like this. This is good. But you're surly in a very facetious way.
You're a Black Panther fan, aren't you? A little bit. That's enough. That's perfectly fine.
That's it?
Yeah. It's a percentage.
I'm a Black Panther fan.
Yeah, but you're an outlier.
Oh.
You're pandering.
Clearly, I'm not an outlier.
Don't pander.
I'm not an outlier.
Don't pander to our African American constituents.
We decided at dinner time, because the dictionary decided
Oh,
this.
my God.
Pander is a negative word.
Of course he's telling you this because
Pander
I was wrong about it.
He was.
It was wrong. Because I didn't think pandering has a negative connotation because everything is considered to be pandering now. So that means that everybody is saying that everything sucks.
When you pander, you are exploiting
yeah, I get it.
something.
I remember what the definition said over my beef and broccoli.
Yeah.
Continue with your questions about grading. What
Infinity War. What do you give it?
C.
Oh, wow! Didn't expect that coming out of you because you liked it. I
did like it. But
Deadpool 2.
A D.
Wow, you're a harsh grader. You're very surly tonight. I like it. But you gave Black Panther an A.
Yes. Because I'm black.
Because you're black. Okay. At least you're, yeah.
90% of the reason is 10% of the reason.
Solo.
Good. Solo gets a B, obviously.
Okay.
Now I will explain very quickly.
So I'll give you my grades.
I don't want to know your
my grades.
I'm not interested in your grades. Here, let me go into... No, go ahead. What are your grades?
I give Black Panther an A-.
Oh, you didn't say we could all... Okay.
It's high school grades. You can give it high school grades.
That's just...
I give Infinity
dumb.
War an A. I just flat out, I just think it's an A. Because I'm white.
I am a whore.
And Thanos is white.
I am a whore.
I know.
Yeah, Thanos is white? What the hell are you even talking about? That makes perfect sense.
See what I just did there?
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
his goal of universal extermination.
Because I'm really the Hamburglar, and he's one of mine.
How does that
How did that happen?
Yeah, you're Grimace. You're Grimace.
I'm Grimace.
Yeah, it's one of us.
The Hamburglar's not the. Yeah, it's Grimace. It was Grimace. No, I'm done for the night. I'm over.
Yeah. No more IPAs for dinner.
I only had the one. It was the tea. It was the Starbucks tea.
The tea put you over the edge.
Deadpool 2, I give a C-. I give a C- to Deadpool 2. With the exception of the middle scene, which I give an A. The rest of the movie, C-, middle scene, A.
You talking about the X-Force?
Yeah, amazing. Still, to this day, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I could watch that over and over again. And the surprise cameo was amazing in it. It's the only reason that movie was like... It's not watchable. It was very watchable, but just overall, I thought it was very... It fell flat to me, right?
Okay, yeah. True.
Solo, I actually also give a B, too. I give it a B. I think
Nobody gets a D. Nobody gets a D.
No.
Pacific Rim gets a D.
Pacific Rim got a D by not even being included
by
in this
you
list.
not even seeing it.
Now let me explain why.
Oh, now you get to explain. You see that?
It's because I'm purple.
See it works?
That's why I get to do it.
Purple lives matter.
If Black Panther to me, I give it an A-. Quite frankly, I don't know what the minus is. I think the ending to me was
they were black.
It didn't work as well.
They got a minus because they were black.
It's possible. It's very possible. Purple people very much, at odds with the black people. Yeah. That whole McDonald's thing going on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you all about that.
Wait, you saying only black people eat McDonald's?
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just saying.
I'm determined to make this into something it's not.
You're gonna cause your own show.
Yes.
To plummet.
Yes. You see, and then I will get credit for it.
Or make $300,000 on GoFundMe.
Exactly.
It could work.
By
it could work
exposing you.
So quite frankly,
surprise.
Quite frankly, I'm on board with this. Let's see where you can go with this.
Money making. Let's make some cash, man.
Yeah, honestly,
who can we destroy so we can make some money?
Honestly, I could give Black Panther an A, and I wouldn't shake a stick. But my gut after the fact
what is it that gives you the minus though?
It honestly was just it was the fact that to me I found all the other characters except Black Panther to be the most intriguing. I thought Killmonger was amazing. I thought Daniel Guerrero was amazing
in a lot of those movies.
Yeah,
with the exception, I would say, of the first Captain America movie.
Yes, and that's why it's one of my favorites too.
Right,
it's
but
absolutely one of my favorites.
like even Iron Man, he wasn't really like it was. There's a lot of
There
was a lot of intrigue in how he put together the
I give
suit.
the first Iron Man B+. Like
Yeah.
if I'm just natural, just off the
you have Thor.
You have 2 seconds to answer this question. You can't think too hard.
Yeah,
just give me a grade.
give me a
That's
B.
the grade. Like this is the grade. So
Okay.
and that's why
Okay.
Infinity War to me is an A because it's a Thanos movie, and it's just perfect. And not only that, the expectations going into it, like it met and exceeded. There wasn't. And they even included the surprise cameo of Red Skull in there too. That kind of was really cool.
Spoiler.
Sorry. Well, at this point,
Spoiler.
Well, we've already done our spoiler free, so at this point, if you listen to us,
Spoiled
Deadpool 2 again. The reasons for the C-, I thought it was entertaining, but I wasn't. Honestly, that middle it took so long to get going, and that middle scene was what made the movie for me.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it was like I don't know why I care about this 12-year-old like New Zealand kid who's going to blow stuff up. Like it just felt like there was need to have
a lot of like there's a lot of dick jokes. It was one long dick joke, and it starts to get old after a while, And there's a lot of this. I don't know exactly what you would call it because it's not. It's not like a homophobic kind of thing.
No.
But it's just like
you love gay people.
Yeah. Why not?
Yes.
I went to art school also. So, there you go. You can't really.
What's that supposed to mean?
Occupational, baby. It's all occupational.
I'm going to try to bring us down too.
But
go ahead.
Oh, they know what it means. But it's like, okay, it's all of this is like this weird, this strange homoerotic humor.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah. After a while, this is not a gag anymore, because it's still exploitation, and it's just this weird thing. It takes on this weird thing where a couple of times it's wonderfully awkward humor, and then after a while it's just okay. This is just a natural language.
Do you know what actually defeats Deadpool for me though, and it's what gave the first movie its heart. The Deadpool I know is the mercenary who has trouble working with others and this and that. Having him have the love interest to me is almost a false redeeming quality.
Yeah, and also
It
having both
worked.
movies be about
That's
that
my
love,
point. The first
Jesus.
movie, it kind of worked because it's also about this guy. It's an origin story of how he's goes from Ryan Reynolds to being a disgusting, creature. So, and again, it's a superhero movie in that sense of mass media pandering,
right?
That they have
thing.
to do, right? Which is a bad thing. The second Deadpool to me was just like, again, why do we have to do, And it sucks because then you don't want them to break up. You don't want something to happen to, but something has to happen to them.
Right, but I mean, you didn't have to make that movie about them.
Exactly.
And so
exactly.
And then that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's just like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
So that's, and I mean, there's some great things in the movie, and it's a good movie. It's a solid movie. It's a good follow up to the last movie if you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's just it didn't break any ground, and if you weren't a super fan of that kind of humor, the second movie's not going to make you a believer.
Yeah.
It's not going to indoctrinate you. The Infinity War, for me, basically was I was intrigued at how they were going to tie this movie together. They've been talking about this movie for 10 years.
Yeah.
What the heck is going to be this movie?
Yeah.
Even from the year out when they announced a date, I'm like, because there's no way they could possibly pull this movie together.
Yeah.
No way it could be as big as it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then when you watch it and you start to get into it, you realize like what the structure of the movie is,
Yeah.
like what the 3-act structure of the film is, and you realize, oh, it's gonna be like it's just gonna be them trying and failing to stop him from getting the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's not really a war. There's a battle.
No, but that's the whole thing. It's basically Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
They called it Infinity War.
Yeah, because it sounds grand.
Really
Yeah.
cool.
And
Infinity War is the sequel to Infinity Gauntlet,
Right.
and this is Infinity Gauntlet, done in.
And once you realize it's going to be like this kind of weird Harry Potter Horcrux kind of, kind of this quest, except for the fact that it's the bad guy who's doing it.
Sure.
And you're like, oh, and then it's a punch movie after that.
Yes.
So everywhere they go to stop them from getting one of the stones, people get punched a lot and fly through things.
I'll give you.
And so, like, for me, it was like, this movie is great and it's exhilarating and it's fun to watch, but I'm not turned into it. Like I'm
Right.
not. My emotions are not. Shocked to life because of it.
Yeah. I'll give you real quick before we go to commercial. Our superfan Brian Everham, he gave Black Panther a B. He gave Infinity War an A.
Of course.
Gave Deadpool 2 incomplete, means he probably hasn't seen it yet. Solo, he gave an A-. Fascinating stuff. We are going to move on. When we come back, we're going to welcome Dan Leister to the program. He is going to talk about his new web comic. It's Metal Ice Cream, which is an awesome name, and we're going to give him some time to shine. And as always, we're going to tell you, go pick up the mainstream. It's in stores now, issue 2. Go order at your local comic book store. When we come back, talk to Mr. Dan Leister.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul. Join me to uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to living a healthy life. Join us every Wednesday at my new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
Do you know
how long it's been since I've been wanting to just sacrifice all your
myself?
beliefs just for the
to
show?
give up all my beliefs? Well, I actually don't really have any beliefs, which is why it's been so hard for you to find out what my beliefs are to get me to betray them. I'm kind of a nihilist. I don't really believe in anything, except for sandwiches.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. We were giving our mid-year report cards because all the movies have happened. All the movies have happened.
They haven't all happened yet.
Not all of them. And next week we're going to talk. Next week we're going to talk.
And Wasp.
Next week we're going to talk about them.
People know Ant-Man and Wasp are coming out. It's not like us not saying it.
They have never known. No, we are the touchstones.
We're the reasons.
Yeah, we are the reasons people tune in.
We're getting way underpaid then.
Yes.
For our lofty positions.
We do this as a service.
Oh, really?
To others.
It's a public service.
Yes.
It's a crappy public service.
It's a public service.
I think we need to monetize the public service.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely should. All right, welcoming to the show. He's a friend of the show because he's the one who actually helped design the Sire. Well, actually, no, I designed it and then I gave it to him and he made it come to life.
Gave him credit and took it away.
That's right. That's right. That's what we do on this show.
That's a heck of an intro.
I want to welcome Mr. Dan Leister. How you doing, Dan?
Damn, Matt, just take that credit away so quick.
You get no credit here. Real quick for you, how many of those 4 movies that we reviewed have you seen? Because you've got 2 kids and you're crazy. And
yeah, I don't do anything. No, I just saw Black Panther. I thought that was cool. I haven't seen Deadpool. I haven't seen Infinity War. I haven't seen Solo. I haven't seen anything. They just Thor Ragnarok just came on Netflix.
He's worse than you, Sam.
Hey, I just have so much other crap I'm trying to do, and it's just like, it's like I guess we're watching Frozen again tonight.
That's something about having kids, which luckily I don't experience yet, except for Tom and Jerry.
I was going to say, you do have a kid. You do realize
that,
right?
but we're not to that point where where it's like obsessive about movies. But he's obsessed about Tom and Jerry. So I am actually I've been watching Tom and Jerry nonstop for the last 2 months or so.
That's all right. That's semi-adult entertainment.
It is, and it's also weird because I never knew this as a kid though. But you can tell the different animators, like really tell. Like all of a sudden, I'm watching like a Chuck Jones thing, and I'm like, this is like deep on many levels that I never experienced before.
Tom and Jerry is meta. It's all meta.
It is. It really is.
It's all meta.
It really is. Dan, do you get that with Frozen? Is Frozen meta?
Yeah.
So we got to hang out at C2E2, which is great because I crashed your table, but you crashed the hotel room, so it was even.
Payback. Someone got some payback.
Was Dan in the room when I came?
No,
he wasn't. That was Chicago. Okay. No. And we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the industry. We talked about this like white whale we've been chasing, which is like a job in comics. You've been a solo practitioner in the comic book world for now, what, 7 years?
11, 12?
Everything you ask him is 11, like causing an aneurysm.
No, it's getting there. Yeah.
11 years? You've been a working professional in the comic book industry, like just
since I quit my job that I had at the time.
Which was tell us that job. I love that job.
Telemarketing crap. I didn't even get.
No, the one before it. What was the one before? You were cleaning out medical waste or something.
Oh yeah, the pumps that they hook up to people who can't feed themselves.
Yeah.
Oh. I was cleaning those.
This is a lesson for anybody who's really trying to do. He was drawing the Sire at night, or maybe it was during the day actually, because I think that was a night job.
And cleaning out human waste.
Yeah, well, no, food waste.
Well, it's still the.
Well, the reason I got fired from that job, I was burning the candles at both ends, and I just came in like one too many times late, and they just like that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you were happier for it.
Wait a minute. You were doing that
first
job,
one I was upset
and you didn't even have the dignity of being able to quit that job.
Because I just gotten offered the Wonderland gig from Zenoscope, so I had at least 6 months worth of work. So I was like, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you didn't. He did not.
He didn't even get the dignity of quitting the job.
No,
he had that crappy job and got fired from.
No. That was it. That was the Abbott, the pump cleaning one. I got fired from. The one that I left for comic books for, I quit.
All right, so you did get to have your office space moment.
Some props for something. Come on, once in a while.
So, I mean, talk about being a working comic book professional. I mean, I think that's definitely something that people aspire to from the outside. Like, I think Justin Gray, DC writer, had a great post. He's like, people think making comics is easy, and they think it's profitable. So dispel that myth right now.
Wrong on both counts. It's a really awesome thing if you can make it work. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It's in the process of changing with the kids right now because I can't just sit down and lock myself in the room for like all day to get stuff done. You know, I have to spend time with my family. So it's kind of a balance right now, and I try to front load as much of the work as I can so I'm not rushing at the end.
Where do you think you're getting your work from these days, though? Where's like your main, like, I mean, is it just reputation based at this point? People are coming out and they've seen your stuff, or when you said the kids, I actually thought you meant like the next generation of people and this, social media and this and that. I mean, where are you as a comic book professional finding your next gig?
It's kind of weird. I'm making my own gigs at the moment. I'm just setting up books that I want to work on, people that I want to work with, and I mean, some of the money comes in from, conventions, going to conventions, doing commissions, signing books, selling books. I've tried to get a decent cover gig, like 1 or 2 covers a month from Zenoscope, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to just get as many baskets as I can to have things coming in continually.
The reason I ask you, though, too, is there's definitely a lot of people, like I said, that want to be doing comics. We're talking with Dan Leister, artist extraordinaire. And it's always interesting to figure out how people are doing it. We have our frequent guest, Pat Shan. He does it, and he's a writer, and he doesn't have the advantages. I mean, do you think, just being an artist, there's just so many advantages in terms of being able to get work, right?
Of course. You can instantly see, like, if the person's good or bad right there. With writing, it takes, I don't know how you get into it. You just have to.
People haven't figured out that I'm bad yet, which is good.
Sooner or later, someone goes, oh, I guess you can write.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely a different animal altogether. Some people start a podcast instead.
Yeah. I've been telling people you're bad, though. I mean, I'm trying to.
But then
they're like,
they're like bad is good, though, right?
Yes, it's like that's what I keep running into.
Yeah,
and then they play the George Thorogood song.
Because you're
I don't
purple.
know why. Yes,
because you're purple.
No, yes, and I hate purple people.
Talk to us about Metal Ice Cream. It's one of the gigs you are doing yourself. It's a web comic. It's your first endeavor into web comics. Give us the background. How did you A, come up with the concept, B, what is the concept, and C, how are you making this come to life? We're
Three-part question.
We're all about letters tonight.
Letters. No, basically, this is kind of weird. This is one of those ones I put on a made it a web comic because it was just weird. And I didn't really think it'd make a very good mainstream comic book.
The mainstream story right now.
Comic books is pretty much do whatever you want, it feels like. I thought there'd be a good medium for it. But the initial idea for it was, I swear to God, I saw this cover for a comic book, and I'll send you a link to it. And I kept looking around for it and talking to people about it, and people were like, "You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about." And so I finally just drew the cover, and I was like, that was a lot of fun. And the story just sort of popped up with it, and I just started thumbnailing out the outline for it and the characters a little bit. It was like, it's kind of a lot of fun. And then the name came from another story I was working on, or just a short story idea I had where people are adrift in space on this spaceship that's slowly falling apart like ice cream. So it's just like metal falling to pieces like ice cream.
Which I actually love that title, though. Like Metal Ice Cream, that's a cool title.
I thought it would go really well with this book. So I just took it and put it on there, and I started posting on the unedited version, because this whole thing is basically my love letter to heavy metal, like the movie and the magazine and all the art and inspiration it gave me when I was a kid. So I didn't want to have any limits with it, I guess. So, but I wanted people to see it. So on my Patreon, if you get a subscription for like $1 a month, then you get the unedited content, and then every other page that you have it, I can put them up there. They have like edited pages, so nothing too crazy.
Well, we just threw the links up on the Facebook page as well too. So I mean, you can definitely check out the and again, the concept for it is just a deep space adventure. Give a little more.
Yeah, Jennifer Crush, the main character, is lost in space after her cargo vessel is attacked by space pirates. She narrowly escapes and has been drifting in deep space in this shuttle that's falling apart for about a week, and then she bumps into this bigger ship and jumps her out of her little pod and sneaks into this big ship, and then finds the whole thing is pretty much empty except for this robot and this like little round dude, and just kind of just goes on these crazy adventures. It's just crazy and fun.
So it's your love letter to space stories. Yeah, your love letter to space stories. You've got some cool characters. You got some cool things. Tell everyone where they can check your stuff out.
Let's see. I can post it up here. You can check it out regularly Wednesdays on Tapas or Webtoons. I think just go to Webtoons and type in Metal Ice Cream, or on my Patreon, unedited, $1 a month subscription every Wednesday as well. And they also have like Sketchbook Fridays, where I try to put up some things like sketch ideas and things from the book that I've been working on, and I'll put those up on Fridays. And what else? Just different like process work and things on my Patreon. More of a behind the scenes, how this comic book is coming together sort of thing.
Very cool.
And that will be on my Patreon site, which I just posted in the comments.
All right, awesome, very, very, very cool. Dan, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on. Definitely check out.
Can I plug one other thing?
No.
Two other things.
All right, go ahead.
The Werewolf Fun book, actually.
I like that one. I was involved in that, so yeah, you can plug it.
I thought you might like that. Thank you. Have you had a chance to look at the book yet?
I have. Remember, I helped you make it. I helped you put it together.
Like the actual physical book.
Oh yeah. You gave me the book in Chicago.
Oh, okay, good. It should be coming in tomorrow or Friday. So the shipment should be coming in tomorrow, Friday. So those will be going out right after that once I start getting everything postage and sent out. And then Lord of Gore, the other book that I've been working on, we're going to start up a Kickstarter shortly to collect the 5-issue trade.
Very cool. Is that through Devil's Due?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very cool.
Please keep an eye out on that.
Excellent. Well, we would definitely check out all your stuff, and you can always see Dan's stuff with the Sire as well too. He is out with the new trade paperback that's coming out too. So see, it's all full circle. No more cleaning out. No more cleaning out medical supplies though.
Yes. Not for now. And I'll be at Heroes Con in Charlotte next weekend, I think.
Very cool.
Not this coming weekend, but next weekend.
Very cool. All right.
And you can pick up your books there.
Dan, thank you so much for joining us. When we come back, we're going to be giving our Spinning the Rack segment a little extra social media fun.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul. Join me to uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to living a healthy life. Join us every Wednesday at my new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
TalkingAlternative.com.
I love the emotional affairs.
That's awesome.
I'm having an emotional affair with you.
I have
every
emotional
week.
affairs all the time.
I know.
Yeah. I didn't think that was an actual insult to other people, but
well, you're not cheating on somebody.
Well, if you can do that emotionally, I'm cheating on you right now.
This is
because I'm thinking about someone else.
You're thinking about Peter. Hi, Peter.
Secrets of the Sire.
Welcome back to Secrets of the Sire. We do this every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, talkradio.nyc. I want to thank our guest, Mr. Dan Leister. He's a close personal friend. Been friends with him ever since he helped me launch the Sire back in 2006. So it's been really a fun ride, and it's always great to have him on. Go check out Metal Ice Cream. Go check out the comments section of the Facebook feed. Facebook.com/Secrets of the Sire, and we'll post some stuff up on secretsofthesire.com. Speaking of Patreon, we're going to be relaunching the Patreon page next week. Going to get more insights into all the stuff that we're working on, which is pretty fun. We're going to have some screenplay stuff that I'm writing right now. We're going to have some of the mainstream stuff out there for paid people. We're going to have marketing strategy and tips as well, too, kind of giving all the kit and caboodle into Patreon, not just stuff in the podcast. But we are going to be bringing back the executive producer stream. We're going to do it at 6 o'clock Eastern time every week right before we go live. It'll be a quick 10-minute behind the scenes. You'll get to kind of learn a little bit about what we're going to be talking about in the show private, and we can stream it directly through Patreon now, which is pretty cool, and which actually helps a lot, when you're trying to do these kind of things. So James Gallagher chimed in on the Facebook feed. He gave his grades for the movies we talked about. He said Infinity War A+. They set themselves up with an impossible task and delivered. Deadpool 2 B. Didn't really care about the kid either, but I wept when Deadpool, spoiler, died. So respect. Solo B. Solid popcorn flick fun ride. Black Panther C-. MCU obliged viewing. A knockoff of Wolverine spending 2 hours jumping on cars. It's a bold statement, right?
It's what I come to expect.
Well, he's purple also, so he has no. He has no.
Purple people
allegiance.
Can't be trusted.
This is right.
This is we've already known this.
This is right.
The MCU knockoff, like obliged viewing.
Basically, I guess any Marvel movie that comes, it's basically what we're going to be doing with Ant-Man and Wasp in a couple weeks.
I'm actually interested in seeing Ant-Man and Wasp.
I'm not as. I actually didn't even watch the first one in theaters. I watched it on cable like a year later. We didn't actually do a show about it either. Okay. Because I just didn't do it back then.
Okay, so let me try that again.
Yeah.
I'm actually interested in seeing Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The emphasis on I'm.
Yes. I understand.
Not we're.
Very true.
You are.
Well, we're going to see it. We are going to see it.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are we going together?
No.
I'm actually interested in seeing Ant-Man and Wasp.
I mean, I think what would you give?
Not now, because you said it. I'm gonna add that in too.
This is what we do. We have no movies to watch. What would you actually give the overall 2018 experience, though?
You know what? Up until Solo, it was all good natured. It all seemed like it was really good natured. I remember watching the two movies that didn't qualify the illustrious list of yours, Rampage and Pacific Rim. I think Pacific Rim was before Rampage.
Yeah, it was. And
there was
I think it was out before Rampage too.
Whatever. There was a lot of audience participation, a lot of cheering, even down in Union Square where everybody's usually dead.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we have to watch a movie. We will watch this movie. The movie is on. Now the movie's over. We leave. That's basically how those people are. Popcorn.
They're all Dieter?
Popcorn. Yes, all of them. It's like sprockets. It's like watching an entire movie with an audience full of sprockets. So
our entire audience, like 25 and under, is like sprockets.
Yeah. Well, the heck with them.
Educate yourself. All 2 people, 25 and under, that listen to us.
Google's a thing.
Yeah.
25ers. But anyway, so they were cheering for Pacific Rim. So now, okay, yeah, that's a movie about giant robots beating up giant monsters.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a couple of cheers, right? So then I'm watching Rampage, same movie theater, and people are having a ball. They're laughing. They're clapping at the end of it. So it led me to believe, like, oh, the atmosphere. People just want movies.
Yeah.
You know, they just want to go to the movies. They're into it. They're mentally prepared
It's
to
a
have
mental
a good
checkout.
time.
You know, it's usually movies
But I mean,
are
sometimes people aren't ready to check out. Some people are demanding for their checkout.
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch a movie like Rampage and clap for it, and be excited for it, and it's a ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. But it's a ridiculous movie that knows it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's not once that The Rock seems to take himself seriously in that film. So they cheered for it. So now, then you get a little heavier. You got Black Panther. You get a little heavier still. You got Infinity War.
Yeah.
And then, to me, it seems like the atmosphere kind of just took a turn. Because now Deadpool, people are like, okay, you know?
Yeah.
And Deadpool should have been raucous, you
Deadpool
know, compared
ruined
to
everything, though. Deadpool moved its date up for some reason.
Because it wanted to take a little thunder away from Solo. It wanted to get there before Solo got there.
Yes.
Because I think
it feared Solo.
Yeah,
I don't think it was trying to like, hey, we're gonna ruin Solo.
Yeah,
it was
but I
like,
think
we need to make sure we're not ruined.
I think it thought if we come out third, we're the last ones to the table.
Yeah.
We're definitely not getting fed.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get there.
And
first.
they made such a big mistake doing that, though. I think because it ended up taking all. People are still reeling from Infinity War. People are still watching Infinity War, and then it's like, okay, we got to go see Deadpool 2 now.
Yeah.
And they did. You know, the opening weekend was
Solo
good.
can be kind of forgiven because they were the theory behind it is they were trying to hit that May 25th.
Yeah.
45th year, I think,
Yeah.
45th anniversary of A New Hope.
Yeah.
It's just not the event.
No.
If they had released The Last Jedi on this date, I think Disney would have destroyed all other movies.
Yeah.
It might.
And they might have had 6 months to make it good, too.
No, they wouldn't have. It would have still been
It
terrible.
would have been even worse.
Because they're arrogant about it.
Yeah,
They have no, you know, like, let's not even get into that. But they wouldn't have. There would have been the same backlash or whatever, but it just would have come 6 months later. But in the interim, it would have destroyed everything.
Yeah.
It would have destroyed everything. And so then Infinity War would be kind of a disappointment. Black Panther would maybe be a little disappointment. Maybe Black Panther would have come out early enough to have made its money before that. But Infinity, it would have sucked the oxygen out of the room for Infinity War. And then if they had Solo came out in December, Solo might have had a better chance.
Yeah.
You know, but it was just weird timing for everything.
I think so, too. I'll give my grade in a second, but first, we do this every week. We go spinning the racks, bringing the most fantastical pop culture news out there.
So exciting.
Keeping with the Star Wars theme, Star Wars actress Kelly Marie Tran leaves social media following months of harassment. We actually could have led with this. I kind of kept it a little light by going with the Solo stuff, which is not necessarily light.
I don't think we could have led with it.
Tran is not the first Star Wars actress to leave social media due to abuse. She has left social media after months of sexist and racist harassment online following her starring role in Star Wars The Last Jedi. Kelly,
the last terrible movie I saw.
the page is still visible, but her bio line and Tran was incredibly grateful for the opportunity, even breaking down into tears when she saw Last Jedi producer Ram Bergman on the red carpet at the Hollywood premiere, giving him a sobbing hug and thanking him repeatedly. Last Jedi director Rian Johnson, who's also a very well-liked individual online, also responded. On social media, a few unhealthy people can cast a big shadow on the wall, but over the past 4 years, I've met lots of real SW fans. He wrote, we like and dislike stuff, but we do it with humor, love, and respect. We're the vast majority. We're having fun and doing just fine. Thoughts?
Well, it's not really doing that fun if she has to leave an entire platform of social media.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you're doing that fine.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: if we take the harassment part seriously,
yeah,
then there could be a discussion. If we're thinking that it's like, you know, I've seen people dismiss the harassment. I've seen people think I'm not going to be sympathetic to her until I have proof that she left because of the harassment and not for some religious reason.
Yeah.
Or, you know. So I mean, there's a lot of people willing to deny that such a thing is happening. And we had a discussion about that.
We were talking about dinner, though. Social media is Westworld.
Yes.
It is a place where people feel they can have zero consequences to what they do.
Prior to that, though, we had a discussion about online harassment. And, just convincing people that it's a real thing is a difficulty.
Yeah.
Because everybody's so anxious to see all angles and to want to incorporate all angles into it. But here's the thing. There are multi-angles, and no one is innocent if we look at it that way. But to deny to deny the potency of harassment, or to consider the harassment is not a big deal because there may be nuance to it, is making us inactive.
No, you're absolutely right. There was nothing to talk about here. We shouldn't have led with this at all. Well, next week we look ahead to the rest of the year in the comic book movies. Will Ant-Man shrink when confronted with sequel expectations? And is Venom as bad as it looks? We'll talk about that next week.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.